Listen, some of y'all not looking for love. You looking for a lifeline. And let me tell you, and no matter how good that man is, he cannot rescue you from pain you refuse to face. We about to get into it. Stick around. Listen, you asking God for a good man, but deep down, you hoping he'll fix what your past broke. Here, let me tell you, that's not love, that's dependency. And no matter how good he is, he's not your healing. Welcome to Man Talk Mondays.
Oh, you're going to get heavy with him today. Huh? He can't rescue for them baby daddy.
No.
None of that. He can't do that. None of that.
Nope.
From the bill calls. He can't rescue from none of that. He can't rescue from them daycares.
Oh, man.
He can't get, because actually they just need financial relief. Can I get a little financial relief?
Man. Now, that's saying a whole lot. But we about to get into it. We talk about tonight, he can't save you. Why a good man is not a fix for a broken life.
Oh, a broken life.
For a broken life.
What constitutes a broken life? Because that's like, I remember somebody said, you're a cheater in life. And I thought, wow, a cheater in life. So what constitutes a broken life?
That's a good question. We're about to get into it. Before we get off into it, we're going to remind everybody this is Man Talk Mondays. It's an open forum where we give you the rational realities of relationships, but of course, it's coming from a man's perspective. Keep in mind, this conversation isn't just for men. We want everybody to join in. Go to the comment section. Let us know what's on your mind. We can see it, and this is how you join in. By all means, we want to hear from you. Make sure you go ahead, like, and share this out. Subscribe. And don't forget, we want you in them comments.
Tell somebody.
Tell your friends, family, all them good people.
And don't tell me. I know about the show already. Tell somebody that don't know about the show.
Oh, man.
Get on here. We need you guys. Y'all get on here with us. All right, D.
He can't save you. Why a good man isn't a fix for a broken life. Now, you just said, what's a broken life?
Yeah, what constitutes a broken life?
What constitutes a broken life?
Yeah.
First thing, bad decisions.
Oh,
that bad decisions that you have not yet faced or reconciled.
That's the multitude. You just covered the multitude then.
I covered the multitude. Okay, so we break it down a little further. Baggage.
Oh, wow.
Baggage you drag around that you refuse to sort through it.
Wow.
To see what's all in there. So it's weighing you down, and rather than unload, you looking for somebody to dump that load on. Let's be honest.
Wow.
You dumping the load.
Man, I got an issue with this one.
Okay.
I got
what you got?
I got an issue with it simply because that's not fair. That's not fair to whatever mate or partner that you're trying to be with. It's not fair for you to put the burden on them, not only having to lead you, but to save you as well. Anytime you're looking for somebody to save you, man, that is a hell of a burden for anybody. Am I way off?
No, you right on it. Many people, especially in like church spaces, equate finding a good man, sometimes a good woman, with emotional deliverance. You're looking for somebody to deliver you emotionally.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it fair?
No.
Is it fair to expect somebody to come along and do that work?
Now, what I think is fair, I think it's fair for a woman to look for somebody to, perhaps she hadn't been making, and because I was thinking about this today, and one thing I thought, most of the time, women don't really want anybody to. And if I'm wrong, y'all jump all over me, and I'm sure y'all don't have no problem doing it. Want anybody to lead them because they think they know better themselves. So if you're looking for, so now I'm looking for somebody to save me, which means I got to submit to what he's doing and what he's saying in order for him to save me. Or does he have to save me the way I think he should save me?
Hey man, one thing about it, when you really are tired of being sick and tired,
you'll submit.
Oh man, I don't care what it looked like. I need help. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times people are looking for help in human form.
Yeah, but see, when you get help that way, there's a price to pay for help that way.
Okay.
Because if I can keep it a buck with you,
yeah.
If I'm gonna treat you a certain way, can I keep it a buck?
Let's go.
I'm gonna treat you a certain way if I know I'm saving you. I'm gonna talk to you a certain way, and I'm gonna treat you a certain way, and you better have that thing on. You better have that thing on pause when I come in there to get it, because I know what capacity I'm serving in the relationship, and I know the role you have to play in it. Stop jumping in any minute if I'm wrong.
Is that fair if that's the arrangement? If both parties know that this is what this is?
Well, sometimes people got to be reminded of what their role is in the relationship. So as the saver,
okay,
I have to remind you that you the savee.
Oh, it's kind of diabolical.
For that word diabolical.
Hey, diabolical for the person who, quote unquote, is in need of being saved, to convince the person who's doing the saving that they're doing them a favor.
That's diabolical.
And typically, and this is what typically happens. Sometimes you get a guy, and the guy he's put together, he got his stuff together, but he's not wrapped in the packets that most women would go for.
Yeah.
And so when you start giving him this attention, he feels like he's won. And he doesn't necessarily know that she won too.
Yes, I agree. Let
me get
okay. Go ahead.
Steven said, yes, it becomes a manipulation instead of a healthy relationship. Absolutely.
Well, it ain't gonna be no healthy relationship if somebody needs saving anyway. That's not no. If I gotta save you, the relationship can't be healthy because you looking for me to be God in your life, and I can't. And there's only one God.
Yeah, you're right. Dr. Selena says many times women are looking for what their past wasn't, which in turn appears as if they're looking for him to fix the problem. But honestly, it's all about finding a perfect fit for us. I get this, and I get exactly what she's saying. But at the same time, you got to make sure your picker is fixed.
Oh boy.
Because
you don't
the
want
choices you made were made for a reason.
You don't want your picker to pick the wrong knicker.
basically, but because you can come across a good guy, but you still not be good for them.
Yes, you're not at a place yet where you can really, where you ready for this. And see this the problem a lot of times. People won't pass up something good, even if they know they're not ready for it. People won't say, oh my goodness.
That's a great point.
I am in a relationship and me and this dude is fighting and choking each other. And I know I'm gonna be toxic to anybody. I need some months to separate myself from this. But if a good guy come along, we on the outs. We on the outs. We doing bad, and you're not gonna close the door on something that you probably should.
And so you stop the process before it's actually done, is what you're saying.
Absolutely.
And see, that's why the preparation that you're doing, and we're not gonna even call it preparation. We're gonna call it just working through your issues.
Nobody wants to work through the issues, man.
Why not? If
everybody is looking for a shortcut.
I can go with that.
Everybody is looking for a shortcut.
I can go with
the
that.
first time I come in your life and I'm telling you how I did, because what happens if we care about you, I'm gonna try to help you do what I did. And hey, rather than spending all your money on this, maybe you do this and do this. And you know what I'm gonna get? Yeah, but that's not how we did it. That's not how we do it.
Right. Right.
But
what did that get you?
But your credit score is a 37. What you mean?
He said a 37.
What you mean that ain't how we do it? I'm trying, because most of the time there's going to be resistance. People, as much as people want you to come and help fix their life, no, because people have in their head, they know what's best for them. Even though I'm here to save you.
And let me get it straight. Most men don't mind. Most men, especially good men, they don't mind if work is involved, but don't put the work off on me and you just looking for relief for yourself instead of, me helping you. I have to tell people sometimes, help means that you're actually doing something, and then the person comes along and picks up the slack because you falling a little short.
Because you got to take a step. You have to take a step. You can't be sitting.
Right. You can't be sitting.
Yes, you got to be taking.
But it's not help if you just sitting there expecting the other person to do the stuff for you. That's not help.
That's not help.
You looking for a savior at that point.
You got to be careful about that.
So how does a person, how do you know when a person is looking for relief instead of love, really? What would be some signs? Y'all let us know. What would be some signs that a person is looking for relief and not just love?
Well, because they picking you because of what you have. They looking at cause, they superficial. Seeing what you have, they seeing what you have because they want it. And now all of a sudden they weren't interested. Now you were slew-footed before, you was big-headed, you was bald-headed. Now all of a sudden, hey, I might have been kind of hasty on the.
So back then, they didn't want me.
I'm just now. Hey, now my wallet sticking out like my belly. Then here you come.
Right. Could it be demands or financial demands are being placed early? Could that be a sign that somebody is
very much so? You got to pay for my. You got to pay. I need you. Can you help me pay for my babysitter? And that's what
help me pay for my babysitter.
Some of the stuff that I'm seeing, it just has me baffled. I need $250 to pay for my babysitter. Can we get when we on the date? Can I bring food back for my kids?
Oh man!
It's like what are we doing?
And I don't know if that's necessarily a problem if you're asking honestly, but if you're expecting.
No.
Like if you gonna be with me, you got to get my kids.
Stop. Tell me how you gonna ask me honestly. This has to be talked about in the pre-recording when we pre-gaming.
Right. It can't be when I show up to the house.
Hey, we got to get for the kids. I knew I need $250 for the baby. I was only planning on spending $300. That's what we're going for $50.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. It has to be talked about, but. When financial expectations show up it's real fast. Yeah. That's a sign that a person
turn off too. And if we go with it, we're gonna treat you some kind of way. I know I would.
Okay.
If I think you about the money, I'm gonna treat you a certain kind of way. I'm gonna play you for the money. If you make money your goal rather than my heart.
Oh wow.
Then I'm gonna play you for the money.
Wow. No, that's a great one. What about issues with exes? You still you doing a co-parenting thing and y'all ain't got that thing worked out.
Man, we over the years we've talked about this. I just think we need to take more time in between relationships to build on things like that. If me and the woman, we got a kid together and we are not seeing eye to eye, then perhaps I need to chill for a minute because I need to get that worked out.
Yeah.
Because there's a child involved. And contrary to what people think, it's not about you no more. It's not about you or her anymore. It's about that child.
Right.
And we so ready to get back in the saddle to show him or show her that, hey, they're not stopping my life. That we need to, I think we need to stop for them.
You need to stop your life.
You need to stop your life.
You stop your life.
Exactly.
Stephen says, yes, if the relationship does not commence with a mature understanding of how a healthy relationship operates, it is unlikely to endure over time. Absolutely. Because just in the normal process, issues gonna come up in relationships.
It's supposed to.
Right.
That's why
but it's a whole nother thing when a lot of stuff from the past is being drug into it.
They're hard enough if you come in with a clean slate.
Oh yeah.
Relationships are difficult enough with trying to make two people become one rather than six people. And the six people is you dragging three of the issues from your past relationships into this one, and it is almost impossible.
Yeah. Hey, y'all let us know. Have you ever entered a relationship trying to fill a void? Anybody out there? Have you got into a relationship hoping or trying to fill a void? And tell us what happened. Let us know in the comments. Let us what happened when you did that. If that was you, let us know. Right. So what does all this stem from? What does it stem from? So when somebody is emotionally wounded but doesn't realize it, they often sabotage even good relationships.
Yeah, but yet normally, and I want to say you hadn't been parented. You hadn't been parented right. There was a void in the parenting thing, because most of the time, if people know their self-worth, then you normally don't have people in situations where you have to save them if you know your worth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Oftentimes when we don't know our worth, we'll shrink ourselves and put ourselves in a position to where we feel like we need to be saved because we hadn't been fathered or we hadn't been mothered like we supposed to. Now I need saving.
Yeah. And knowing your worth extends just beyond your interactions with other people. It actually has a lot to do with how you even treat your own self.
Yeah. True.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because there's some things, if you value yourself, you won't engage in,
Yes, exactly.
Dr. Selena says everyone gets in a relationship to fill a void, whether it is companionship, sex, parenting. Right. So she said everybody trying to fill a void.
I didn't want to say it, but I thought everybody, that should be the phone line should be ringing, even though we don't have phones. Because everybody does that.
Is that a good thing though?
Oh, it's no.
Should we? Because we buy into this thing, you make me whole. It sounds good. It sounds good in movies and in music. You complete me. You make me whole, and all that. But
real good song. Real good
lyrics.
Yes.
But is that really, is it a healthy approach to a relationship?
Well, it's not, and the reason is because if you're completing somebody or you making somebody whole, which means you have the ability to put in and you have the ability to take out. So if I'm making you whole, I can make you not whole. I have the ability to make you not whole. Now you one-sided when I leave. Wait a minute, I'm nothing without you. Now you're talking about cutting your wrist, your neck, your side, your ear, your toes, all that because I'm leaving.
Right.
And nobody should be, because you don't know your worth, should be able to put in and take out of you like that. Nobody should.
Wow. Yeah, because the threat of you taken away causes people to act out sometimes. I mean, people can get hurt behind stuff like that. And so it's not good to even get in a situation. So especially for a guy that's looking to be with somebody, you gotta take that into consideration. Because, go ahead.
I just want y'all to understand how difficult it is in relationships where I'm trying to find my way and I'm trying to lead you and I'm trying to save you at the same time. Now, I can help make your life better as you are making mine better. We can learn and grow together and our lives will become better together. But man, if I'm trying to save you while learning how to lead you and practically become your husband, it's almost impossible for me to do it. It's almost impossible for me not to fail. Because let me tell you something. There's nothing more attractive than confidence in a woman. There's nothing, and I'm y'all gotta hear me now. There's nothing more attractive than confidence. And that broken woman that's coming to me, needing me to save her, she's not showing me much confidence.
Yeah.
And oftentimes we need to see confidence, man.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Stephen says, unprocessed trauma is a danger for a great relationship that can fail due to not healing from the traumatic experience. A lot of people suffering. From I would venture to say majority of people that take on relationships are not ready for them.
Oh, yeah.
I would venture to say.
So why they getting into them then?
Because socially, it's the thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's the thing to do. You got understanding like, oh, by this time, you should be married. You should be with somebody. But it's not a thing of necessarily time. Now, time is a factor, but it's not. It's what you've been doing with that time.
Sex.
And it's just been doing a whole lot of that.
Get some sex.
Guarantee is gonna go some stuff is off.
I heard somebody say Stan, I thought this was really good. He said, most of the time in relationships early, when you're growing, there's typically no money. Or things are tight. So
right.
You're having sex. Sex to cloud the marriage and and all of the shortcomings of the relationship.
Yeah.
Sex fills them up.
Wow.
Until you get to a point to where sex is not enough to fill them up anymore.
Oh yeah.
Now we got to start dealing with the relationship, and I don't want you in bed like I used to no more.
Mm-hmm.
Now the relationship is beginning.
Yeah. Take a little something off that sex when the bill is hanging over your head. Like, it don't come together all like it need to. You know what I'm saying? Especially if somebody looking upside your head like, what you gonna do about this? These people keep calling. Like, nah.
Oh boy, it was tough. When I tell you it was tough, brother. Oh man, brother, there's nothing. It was tough. Oh, I just remember running outside one day to get in my car, and it was another car parked in the place where my car was. That's how long my car had been gone. My car had been gone so long, another car was parked.
So they just take your parking space. They took your car too. Well, that's got to be a sick feeling, man, to walk outside and be like,
dude, yes. Oh, a sick feeling. A sick feeling, because, in your spirit, your spirit knows that
what's going on. What's going on.
But your natural man going to say, oh, I know you lying. Wait a minute. So much so that at my job a couple of years ago, my truck got stolen.
Oh,
I was looking out the window and my truck drove by the window. And I was like, was that my truck? And I went outside and I peeked behind the car to make sure it wasn't there. And this how crazy this is. I know my truck was paid up to date. And that little man inside me said, did they come and get your truck?
Get your truck.
Because everybody told me, did they come get their truck? No, sir. Those days are over. Those days are over.
And we don't do that food.
We don't do that food no more.
Right. Well, one thing we have to understand, unmet inner needs become external expectations. And so there's a lot to be said about becoming whole before you actually go and look for somebody to be with.
Why won't we wait, D? Do we think we're missing out on something? I'm curious. Everything missing?
Everybody and everything is telling us we're missing.
I just remember being in the military, man. And the whole time I was in the military, I was ready to get out because I thought I was missing something at home. Oh my God. Man. Oh, they kicking in. They kicking in. And then when I got out and got home, they wasn't kicking it.
Oh no.
They wasn't doing none of what I thought they were doing. I wasn't missing out on nothing that I thought I was missing out on.
Right.
And it seemed like we spend this whole time in our life rushing and want things to be a certain way, and they not.
Yeah.
And we don't figure that out until we made some decisions or got ourselves into some things and we're like, oh, I probably should have stayed in there.
Yeah. Because you need to take the time to figure out who you really are.
Yeah.
Like, who are you or who do you become when you don't get your way? How do you react?
That's good, man.
You need to know that about yourself. You need to know, listen, when I don't get my way, I tend to verbally attack people around me, throw tantrums, or I do something, because that now becomes a point when you recognize you not, because in relationships, you ain't always get your way. You're not gonna always get your way. And so you need to understand how you react in it so you can control yourself better. It's not up to the other person to control you.
Dude, that's awesome. Dude, self-control is one of the biggest things in relationship that people don't have no more. That we don't hold ourselves accountable no more. We just do and say anything. In relationship, we got to remember this because people don't know.
Yeah.
I'm saying this because people don't know this. You can't take that back.
Nothing.
When you say that, you can't take that back.
Nothing.
You can't say I'm sorry. You can't try to give me none. You can't take that back.
Right.
And we don't think we understand. We just can't do and say anything we want to do, man, and that makes it okay.
No, it does not make it okay. People are always keeping record. People are always keeping record. Women are more vocal about the records they keep. Men don't say, we don't say or express the records we keep, but we keep records too.
One of the things this prominent doctor I know, Dr. Selena Smith, I think, says the body keeps score.
Oh, the body keeps the score, man.
I keep score too. My heart keeps score.
Yeah. Yes.
My heart knows how many times you've let me down, you've hurt me. And I say this, I talk about this all the time. So when I was younger, this lady had told me she was a friend of my mom's. We call, you know how everybody that's your mom, friend, y'all call your aunt. She had told me she was gonna take me to the Michael Jackson concert when I was like 5. I know I talked about this 30 times on the show.
Yeah.
Well, she didn't take me. I stayed out on the porch till about 11 o'clock waiting for the Michael Jackson at home in his bed sleep. So I stayed outside till about 11 o'clock. Mom said, baby, come in the house. And I didn't feel like there was no retribution is not the word I'm looking for. I didn't feel like that my mom dealt with that situation like she was supposed to. I wanted my mom to check her and say, hey,
she didn't go to bat for you.
She didn't go to bat for me. Hey, that's my baby. You don't promise him nothing. And because I didn't get that, now I don't let anybody promise my kids anything.
Wow.
So I took score. Yeah. I never forgot that. And when I talked to my daughter, right, this don't have nothing to do with what we're talking about. But when I talk to my daughter now, I don't let anybody promise my kids anything, and to the detriment of my children. Mm-hmm. I went through trauma that I didn't get healed from, and I put that on my kids. And you know what I hear more than trauma? I hear what's the word they say when people are crazy? We don't use trauma enough because more people deal with trauma, I believe, than anything else. Yeah. And what's the word we use when we say narcissist? Oh my God, everybody's a narcissist. Everybody has trauma that they need to be delivered from, then we have to deliver from it. Yeah. Because things if something made you feel a certain kind of way, it's pretty good chance that trauma was attached to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Just because you don't get your way don't mean that person a narcissist. Now, Christina she said something good, right? She says, crazy because love doesn't keep score.
Wow. Christina said that?
Christina said that. She said
Christina said
she
that.
said love doesn't keep score. And now the Bible does say love keeps no record of wrong.
Love don't.
Love don't,
love don't get scored, man, but your heart does.
Yeah.
The heart knows how many times you've been let down. Yeah. The heart knows the heart keeps score, man.
And what that means is I still move forward, not holding that against you, but I can't move the same way with you because I got brand new information. I'm not ignorant anymore. So I'm moving forward with knowledge. So things are going to be a little different. But it's not like me holding resentment, right?
Might be a little bit resentment.
Might be a
little bit.
Stephen says, yes, also sex is a coping tool that causes children to enter into the relationship because of financial difficulties and other factors that fuse the conflict between the two. Michael Jackson. The prophet Michael Jackson says, if you can't feed the baby,
don't have the baby.
Don't have the baby. You want to be starting something. You got to be starting
Michael's a bad boy.
Michael's a bad boy, man. Michael trying to let him know. He said, if you can't feed the baby, don't have the baby. But all of this contributes to the state of a person who, when they don't deal with all of these issues and this baggage, now they look for somebody else to relieve them of it. Christina says, it's literally the same thing. Don't try to make it. He said, don't try to make it sexy. Listen. And okay, so let's take it there. So most people struggle with love, period.
Yeah, true.
Especially today. Most people struggle with love.
Yes. Absolutely.
Because there's only so much a person is going to put up with before you are sending a message to them that you my food. I keep putting stuff out there. You keep taking it. And you say, I'm supposed to just love you through this.
You can't keep kicking me in the tail. And I keep saying, oh.
Because here's a misconception about love that people fail to understand. Love doesn't mean I just continuously take all your mess. Love says I need to cut you off and let you deal with your mess by yourself.
Because one thing about that though, man, and people know who and what's been good to them.
Oh yeah.
People know, when you done left somebody alone because of their mess. Because we're not used to that. We actually used to people putting up with our mess. And when you cut me off and say I'm done, hey, I can't put up this more. Whoa. What you been putting up with it? What you doing? Why you doing that? You know?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's the toughest thing for people to do. But that causes people, that does make people get right though.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And I understand what it is to love somebody through foolishness.
Oh, my wife can tell you that because oh my God.
So you had the foolishness award, huh?
Oh my God, man. Yes. Absolutely. I did.
And there is something to be said for enduring, but at some point you send a message to the person that, I'm really just gonna keep doing you bad. Because that means there is some internal work that you're committing to do yourself, because you, in response to the love that they're showing, you want to not continuously put them in that position like that. Because here's what typically happens when you keep your foolishness up. Now the other person has to keep adjusting to your foolishness, and what they make space for you, and their space gets smaller and smaller to the point to where they lose who they are.
There's only so much room in that.
It's only so much room in there, right? Cheryl says, "Love yourself enough to cut it off, cut them off." Listen, even God won't put up with you forever. Hear what I'm saying, right? He will not put up with you ever. Eventually, you send the message to him that I don't want you. And he say, all right, I'll let you have it.
But now, hold on. But no, whoa. But if I'm with you because I want you to save me, how much time, if I'm the saver, how much time should I give the savee to get they self together?
That's a good question. Because I think it's more about seeing effort.
Because if you laying down and trying to get you up is one thing, but if you're trying to get up while I'm pulling you up, that's completely different than you laying down.
Right.
So as long, like we said, and I tell my kids this all the time, man, if you take one step, got to take two, but you got to be taking a step.
You got to be taking a step. If you're dealing with somebody who's trying to work through on their own, right? They're taking responsibility for their decisions. They're taking responsibility for their actions. Then typically a person won't mind saying, I can help you with this or that while you deal with this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I can give you some space to kind of deal with that issue.
The crazy thing about, and this is so funny because I would almost rather be the guy, and this is gonna sound, I shouldn't say it, but I don't have sense enough not to say it.
Okay.
I would almost rather be the guy that saves somebody than not, or at least be in the position to where I can save somebody and not do it. So for example, I think every man wants to be able to bring their wife home.
Oh yeah.
I think every man wants to be able to rescue their wife or their partner from the stress of day to day working. I think every man. I think every man wants that, but I'm just not sure if every woman is ready for that.
Right. You want to fire the boss, basically.
Yes.
And I heard, I'll never forget, Dr. Miles Monroe said that he said no woman wants to have to work. Doesn't say you don't want to work. It says no woman wants to have to work. There's a difference.
What's the difference?
When she have to work,
what
versus her making the choice to go out and employ her gifting, her talent, and everything, but her having to work.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Are you know what I'm saying?
I
get it?
I understand. Well, you should see the way the woman who wishes.
I don't know. Y'all let me know if y'all agree. Y'all let me know if y'all agree. Women that's listening, they said no woman wants to have to work, meaning the pressures of life is forcing you into a situation where you got to go out there.
But is the pressure? Is it the pressure of life though, or is it the wants? Is it the wants that's making them?
Oh, so yeah, I see with you. Yeah. But that's different. Because if all of the needs are taken care of and she want extra stuff and she willing to work for it.
I believe back in the 70s, 80s, and I believe even now, things just so expensive now.
Oh man.
What you paying $300,000 for now, you could get for $70,000, $80,000. And oftentimes that was enough for us to for me to do that by myself. But just the way things is as expensive as things are now, it makes it virtually impossible for me to be the only one working and to have I think we could do it with all our needs being met. I think the wants would suffer.
And I think the
trips 2-3 times a year might suffer. The eating out as much as we do might, because boy, have you been out to some of these places? You're gonna drop 2 bones every time you go. So for brunch, you're gonna drop $200.
Yeah, it's like that.
So
it's like that.
So with that being said, I think men could do it, but man, just maintaining a certain lifestyle that I think women want. I think women want more of the lifestyle than they do anything else.
Any women listening, how much lifestyle are you requiring from a guy that you with or you trying to be with?
They want to be able to go. They want to be able to go out and eat. They want to be able to go on their trips. They want to be able to go and do shopping occasionally when they want to. They want it to be cool that they go do it like that. They don't want to set the family. Oh, if you go shopping, we're gonna have to. The lights may not be on the one. They don't want that. They don't want to. They want to be able to do what they want to do, like they want to do, and they want that to be cool.
Case in point. Saw a video. My wife sent me a video recently where the couple, their rent was $1,300.
Oh, I think I saw that.
The husband or boyfriend gives the girl the $1,300. She goes and buys a wig for $1,300.
What'd you tell him?
She goes to buy a wig, and so he like, where the rent money? She like, oh, I used it to buy a wig, and she told him, oh, you got it.
You got it. He said, you just gonna do that? She said, I don't know what to tell you.
She said, oh, you got it. So you went and frivolously spent on a wig.
On a wig now.
On a wig. And now you've added $1,300 to the load that not y'all have to carry. This man has to carry because you put it on him to figure it out. That's when you know you got somebody who shouldn't be with anybody, because there is no consideration for that other person. Well, even if he has the $1,300, that's trifling.
That is rifling.
Cheryl says, no, I don't want to have to work, but I like stuff, so I work to get that extra stuff. Evia says, what wig is $1,300? Is she Beyonce's sister? Oh, you be surprised. You be surprised.
She look like Fleonce.
He said Fleonce.
So it didn't matter what kind of wig it was. It wasn't gonna be worth $1,300 anyway. It wasn't gonna make her look no better.
Hey man,
unless it covered her face. They got wigs that cover the face.
Oh no, they ain't covering the face. Look like cousin Ed or somebody.
Well, but the life of me, going back to what you originally said, he had to be saving her in order for her to think that was okay. He had to be saving her for her to say, "Oh, you got it. I ain't worried about that. You got it."
So how should he respond to that? How should he respond?
Oh, I can't even tell you that. I can't even say on the air how he $1,300.
I'm not talking about verbally. I'm talking about how should he move.
Oh, okay. I thought
as far as that situation. I ain't talking about
turn the lights out.
I'm not talking about his reply to her. I'm talking about in that situation. What should he do in that situation?
Well, I would remove myself from after the rent got paid. I said, well, it's been good. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have, but it's time for me to move on. This ain't working for me.
So
because obviously something has been done or said to make you think this type of behavior is okay.
Yeah.
See, one thing I believe in, let me talk to you and tell you about what's going on. So when I leave, you won't be standing here talking about, why are you going? I can't believe you left. No. I'm explaining to you why I'm leaving. Yeah. But if you think this type of behavior, because this not gonna be the last time you do something like this, because I ain't choking you out.
Yeah.
So if our relationship got to be like this, then I don't want to be a part of this. Because somebody $1,300 is gonna cause you to get hurt. Every time I see that wig, I'm gonna see Reed. Every time I see that wig. Every time I see that wig.
Hey man, somebody gonna get a refund.
And you're gonna wear it, and you're gonna be wearing. Only time I'm gonna see is when you're wearing it out with your girls anyway. I'm choking.
She ain't wearing it for you. She ain't wearing it out with you, no way.
And that's. I can't do it. I can't do it. But again, is that what you signed up for when you say you're gonna save somebody? Because remember, when you're saving somebody, you're saving them because their decisions. They make those kind of decisions. So do you expect that? Because if you gave her $1,300 anyway, I'm beginning to believe you was more of a fool than she was.
Right.
Because
what made you feel like
if you rescuing her. You're rescuing her from her decisions, so you don't put her an opportunity to make another bad decision.
Which brings up a great point. A person shouldn't necessarily get access because they have a title of wife or husband if they don't have the wisdom to deal with the situation.
I bet he won't give her that money no more. I bet if he stayed with her any amount of time, that'll be the last time he put $1,300 in.
Oh yeah.
He gonna walk that money to the rent house. He gonna walk
right.
That money.
I can't give you money for nothing ever again. So now,
if I stay with you,
feeling like a child because I gotta treat you.
Stop. I'm rescuing you. You don't feel like a child anyway? Okay. For somebody to have to save you?
So in the rescuing, is there a certain level of I'm taking over?
It has to be, because if not, we're going to both be where you are. We're going to both need saving. Because you don't make good decisions with your money. You want the Louis purses. Right? You care more about the Louis purse than the money in it.
Oh, wow. You ain't lying.
You want a wig to look good when we ain't got no place to stay? You be looking good for the streets? Right. That's where we're going to be at.
Hey, but that wig going to get us somebody to take care of her.
gonna get somebody to save her. That's what dude. If you make, because you always got to remember why and how people got in the situation that they are. And you got to be careful that you don't help them.
Exactly.
In those
and
spots,
is it unfair for the person who comes in to do the saving to scrutinize the person to like what you start asking all kind of questions? Why you spend the way you spend? What did you do when you got this money? All this type. Is it unfair for that person to scrutinize?
Do you want to be saved or not? You know, man, this what whoops me down. You can't have no what's the word? You can't have no, well, this is what I'm putting up and we ain't putting up with. No, I'm saving you. If I'm saving you, you got to submit to the authority that I have about finance and everything.
You saying something. So here I am. I need saving, but I'm putting stipulations on the person.
On the saving. On the savior.
On the savior.
Please.
Listen, God deal with the same stuff. He deal with the same stuff.
God is God. Stuff. I ain't God. I ain't put up with that.
Well, I said he put up with it, but people come at him the same way. They come at him the same way. That's why everybody love that cross so much. Right? Because it's about what he paid. He paid the price.
And you said, should we be constantly reminding people why we're doing what we're doing for them? Yes. And you know why? Because you don't want to be back there. And oftentimes when we don't remind you, when you're not reminded of some of the things that you've done, we forget about them and we do them again.
Yeah. Which is why you need to know how you deal with people scrutinizing you about stuff that you should have handled. You need to know that about yourself before you get into a relationship with somebody who's coming in to possibly pick up the slack for you. Because now your expectations on that person typically is going to be unfair for them. Because it's one thing to carry the load of what happened, but it's another thing to deal with disrespect or deal with attitude that comes behind you simply reacting to not wanting to really face the foolishness that you did.
But the problem I have is you ain't just saving them, you gotta save their family. It ain't just them. Don't listen.
Somebody gotta
if that credit score is a 37, that's in the family. That ain't got, listen, that is learned behavior.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're not just saving her.
Absolutely.
You gotta save mom and them and dad and everybody else, because everybody broke like that. Everybody looking for a come up. And if you think that ain't true, you fooling yourself.
So that person has to make a decision to step away from all that they felt made them who they were up to this point. Family, friends, whoever I'm hanging around, these birds of a feather, and we ain't flying nowhere.
Chicken.
I got to get away from them. So that means there's a level of submission, like you said, that has to happen to the person who's coming in, doing the saving. Selena said that's a misconception. Saving doesn't always equate to a childlike relationship, but oftentimes a damsel in distress. It creates a dominance relationship that is often looked at as a turn on. Okay.
Selena went to the well on that one.
Okay.
Sitting over there, hit me on the side when I wasn't looking.
So the dominance relationship, dominant relationship is a turn on. Is that? Did I miss that? Is the dominance relationship a turn on? Because I get not treating them like a child.
Yeah, I get that. Well, it could be. I'm not saying. Hey, listen, I'm not saying that it's not a turn on, but I just.
Or is a turn on? You just somebody handling business is. Yeah. You like.
I just think. Well, she can talk if she wants to. She can but I just think, man, I just think anytime you saving somebody, man, I don't know. I think you're trying to put we're trying to put lipstick on their pig.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's still a pig.
So how do we know a person is emotionally ready for to come together with somebody, although their situation may be less than desirable?
You know what?
She says it goes both ways. A man likes dominating his woman and vice versa.
Okay. Well,
that's what she tried to call him daddy, huh? Big daddy.
I'm gonna say this again. You ain't never been called daddy. Ooh, my wife is adamantly against.
Oh
like,
man,
call me daddy one time. You ain't none of my daddy. Oh boy,
you ain't gonna get it.
Yeah, I know.
I ain't gonna get it.
No, I'm not gonna get that.
But the emotional readiness. What does that emotional readiness look like? What is healthiness when they talk about?
I don't think. Because I want to say I don't think nobody should. I don't think you should start dating if you're not emotionally and physically. If your credit score not passed, not up. If your credit score ain't 500, if it ain't 500 to 600, you probably shouldn't be dating nobody because you got some things you need to take care of.
Mm-hmm.
You got some things you need to take care of,
and that is a practical, good, straightforward marker.
Do that sound crazy? It seems like it sounds crazy when I say it.
To let you know, if you coming into this, don't come in like you got it all together.
What's the girl, the actress girl that was in Woman King? What's her name?
Viola Davis.
Man, her husband said her credit was jacked when he got her.
She was a struggling actress at first.
Her credit was jacked. So are there extenuating circumstances? If you're an actress trying to get on, your credit score can be 75. What's the criteria? Because I think everybody should at least be trying to be the best version of themselves.
Yeah.
I think it's one thing to struggle when you're trying to become an actress. I think it's another thing struggling because life got its foot on your neck.
Yeah.
And we can just look back over your decisions and say, ooh, that one and that one and that one and that. You know what I'm saying?
But like you said, if it's low, then if you coming into a relationship, now it's better to say, let me get myself together. But if you come in there, you come in understanding that this is not my strength. I'm submitting to the person who's stronger in it. I got to submit to that person. And you're submitting to their authority, because if they got it together, they have more wisdom, they have more knowledge and understanding in that area, and they have more discipline. And so you trying to get to their level.
What about that booty though? You don't submit that too? I think that don't come with it.
Maybe that's the trade-off. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
So. What's in it for me? I'm the one got the 900 credit score. What's in it for me? I'm just asking for the people out there.
And that's one of the things that people have to understand when you come into a relationship. Just anyway, there are things that your spouse, your partner, they know that you don't really understand, and vice versa. So when situations come up around that particular thing, don't posture yourself like, I ain't gotta listen to you and all that type of stuff. Let them handle it because they know that particular thing. Right? Came inside our relationship, me and my wife, I was the cook. My mama taught me how to cook when I was a kid.
Ooh, glory.
You know what I'm saying? So it was different when it came to cooking.
So if she hadn't, y'all have been fish sticks.
Hamburgers and fast food.
Hamburger helper.
Oh man. Oh, not the hamburger helper. But now my wife cooks. Now when she first started cooking, she wouldn't let me in the kitchen with her. And I didn't, I let her do her thing. I didn't really understand it, but I'm like, I've been cooking for years. But you know, that's all.
Hey, man. Hey, don't turn that street. Just keep going. Man. Keep going back that. Keep going. You got to turn down that street.
But now she cooks, but she at least gets she will ask me stuff. She'll ask me certain things, but also now she has an understanding of what it takes to cook, because she had no patience for cooking. That was one of the biggest problems, because I feel like food take time when you cooking, especially if you talk about doing it take time. So we found a few shortcuts with some different appliances and stuff, but I was the authority in that area, right? So so now she got it. And listen, I'm gonna let her have it. I'm going to let her have it. Let her do her thing. But oh man, it's going fast, bro.
Well, the first 15, 20 minutes, I was like, oh Lord, we've been here 2 hours. It ain't going fast, but it did kind of speed. It got sped up.
It sped up. It sped up.
Final thoughts, man. Final thoughts.
We're gonna lead the people with.
My final thought for this evening is that's exactly where relationships are. They are finding the strengths in the person that you saying is going to be your partner and allowing them to lead in those areas. The problem is we're not secure enough in our own things to allow somebody else to lead us in what we're not secure in. Oh my God, it's so quick, because that is what relationships are all about. It has Cheryl, the woman who wishes to be nameless, loves to get out there and tinker with cars. I hate it. I want to pay somebody to do it. But it makes me no less of a man if I let Cheryl go out there and change the oil and rotate the tires. It makes me no less of a man. And I will sit in the house and watch her do it, because that's what she wants to do. It makes me no less of a man. Now, but the funny thing is, I used to think that it did. I used to think that her place was in the house, in the kitchen, barefooted, with one of them what they call them thing, with the apron on, cooking, and that was her place in the bedroom. That's what I thought her places were. But I'm secured enough to know to add rotating tires to that list, to the bed, to the kitchen, and rotating tires and the brakes. As long as I'm getting rotated too, like they said. And that's my final thought. Thank y'all.
One thing we got to understand, a relationship is not a rehab. It's not a rehab. This is not the thing to go in to get fixed. There is a certain understanding. That doesn't mean you have everything worked out necessarily, but you got to at least have an awareness. You got to at least have something about you that, you know, I got to check me. I'm moving in the area. I'm moving towards discipline because I want to be an asset for this person and not a liability. And although I may have come in at a deficit, I'm not going to let my deficit be their burden. I will do what I can to work on the things that I need to work on. And if you can't work on that while being with somebody, then you don't need to be with anybody. You gotta prepare yourself for a relationship really by faith. Because like John said earlier, what if that person that you've been waiting on comes by and you're not ready? That's an opportunity that you could miss. Because sometimes we'll take on that opportunity and we're not ready, and then we end up messing up something that was really intended to be a good thing. So if you believe that you deserve something good, treat yourself and get yourself ready as if you believe you deserve something good. It's not so much about the person, it's about you. Wholeness attracts wholeness. Brokenness attracts rescue missions. And you don't want people coming in on a rescue mission. You want to be able to grow with that person. You can fix what needs to be fixed, and y'all still move forward in a healthy way. And that's my final thought.
And foolishness attract foolishness.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of times the problem resides with the person, and we looking for a distraction. We looking for a distraction. That's what that person becomes. They become a good distraction until they get tired of dealing with your foolishness.
What a Where the foolishness resides, where the foolishness resides.
Oh man, what you talking about? Listen, don't forget, share this out. If you like what we doing, make sure you subscribe. Tell all your friends to subscribe. Do all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate everybody for stopping by. Everybody that hopped in the comments. Thank you.
Thank
for
you.
your words. Thank you for your comments.
Thank you.
We're going to come back next week.
Thank you.
For you. Appreciate you.
Thank you.